It's hard to characterise the singer, Laura Mvula. Her earliest influences were soul, jazz and gospel music, but she's also a classically trained pianist and a composer and a former music teacher. So you won't be surprised to hear that she has campaigned for more diversity in contemporary music and to protect music education in schools. Her first album, Sing to the Moon, was nominated for numerous awards, and she's about to release her second album. Welcome. Thank you very much for coming in. Now, you began in Birmingham in the kind of gospel world. To what extent has the church, gospel music and that part of the Black British tradition influenced who you've become now?
Well, actually it was much broader than that for me. Yeah, I was exposed to a lot of church music, but even within church music it was lots of traditions. So we attended Anglican churches quite a lot, and the church that I used to attend was, I guess, what you call a free independent church. So musically the styles were all over the place, yeah, which is great. But yeah, of course, I was also raised in Caribbean church, which is a huge influence for me on my musical creativity growing up.
As I said just now, you've done everything. I mean, you've done classical piano, you've done composing yourself, and your campaigning has been around the fact that you think, in a sense, our popular musical culture has become too narrow, too based on the kind of X Factor type voices and so forth. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I just know, for me, growing up, I was exposed to so much musically. It was so broad. And that was so important for me in my composing and my writing, to feel that, you know, the influences could come from all sorts. And there were no boundaries, there were no limitations. And I guess I struggle with mainstream music today, when we realise that it's become
it all sounds a bit the same,
thing.
Laura.
Yeah, which is not true of what exists today. There's so much music, there's so many different ways of making music, there's so many different ways of accessing music today. Why should we just thrust one thing down?
Exactly, so the powers that be are a bit narrow.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Brits, it's quite interesting, because there's almost no black or ethnic minority talent.
Don't get me started about that. I won't be going to the Brits this year. It's something that I struggle with. You know, growing up, obviously my black identity is something that's hugely important to me, and something that I'm now sort of going to my 30s, I'm thinking lots and lots more about. And I guess the problem for me is knowing that there are young black kids growing up feeling that they are not acknowledged in society, in media and in mainstream music. You know, there is no reflection of
their traditions. Their music is appropriated by white musicians who then pretend to sound like black musicians, but not the people themselves. Is that why you're not going to the Brits? Because of the diversity issue?
Yeah, because of the diversity issue, and because I'm not sure what my being there would achieve at this point. But maybe next year, when I have my album out, it makes sense for me to be there, you know?
Well, I'm very excited about what you're going to be singing for us later on. It's absolutely fabulous, and we're looking forward to that. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Laura.